Please be happy.
Wham. Wham. because the game kind of started with a wham. You weren't seeing it, but give me a second while I angle my microphone nicely so it's in a good position to see everything. Am I even in the right position for streaming? Sometimes I don't remember where I'm supposed to be. How about here? How about here? Yeah. This is pretty nice, I think. Right? Nah? Bigger? You wanna be happy? Alright, let's be bigger. Being bigger. Happiness is when we're bigger, right? Yes, tonight we'll be enjoying a wonderful, wonderful game. Please be happy. Time to welcome everybody. Darling, wake up, my Ochi is streaming. Welcome, Terracotta Stars. It's me. Honey, wake up. My favorite pixel artist is in my chat. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that, but you know, I'm not that dramatic. Oh, I have no one to shake. I got my plush toys to shake. But yes, welcome everybody to Please Be Happy. Maybe this stream will be a bit more chill ASMR. A wonderful game? Yes. Yeah. Is this true? This is true. Give me a second. I think my okay, I see why. Just pink. Okay. Let's welcome everyone first anyways. Welcome Martin, welcome Final, welcome Julius. Yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome to the wonderful game. Share inches. Now that's how to be happy. Sharing is caring. Guys. How lovely, how lovely. Wonderful. Very, very wonderful. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Sharing is caring. Are you saying sharing is not caring, guys? We're playing a sweet visual novel. It has Yuri elements, but mostly comfy, cozy ones. And I got this key actually like a month ago, but Monhan, what has happened? I really like the vibe of this game. It's so pretty! I do recommend if you like visual novels, or you like Yuri, or you like cozy, or you just want to be happy, come join me on this journey first. There's still there's multiple endings, and I haven't really thought about a route. Let's pick it all together, right? Let's be comfy. Today's the comfy Alula stream day where she uses a different and less gremlin voice. Let's look at it. Oh, so pretty. We all want to be happy. Let's look at the options.
Check your things before you head out.
Okay. Oh.
Always double check your things before you head out.
Okay. By the way, yeah. You know, I've thought about it, but I've wondered if my Daijobu, right? Is my Here Pretty Lady? Yeah, it's fully voice acted, which is why I'm very happy about today. Yes. Give me a second. I need to check a thing with the with my Nintendo Switch. It should be fine because I had to fix it on my PS5 when I stopped streaming. Like when I was just playing Monhan and not streaming. Oh my god, where is the setting that I'm trying to check, guys? Crazy, isn't it? Okay, here you go. Enjoy this. Isn't it lovely? How about, you can tell me how you guys have been doing. How has your week been? I have been very tired because this week's pretty tough. Which is why I need this game. We can have a hot girl. Alright? Let's take a look. Is it this one? There it is. Oh yeah. My screen size was wrong. Here's the problem that I think Hub doesn't cause any issues with you guys. Okay. Alright. That makes sense for me. I must have forgotten to check it because I recently changed my TV too. Just before I got Lonhan Wilds. So we just recently. Ah. There it is. I hope. Oh, so stream looking. That looks correct, right? Yeah. I think this is the correct. There we go. That's great. Okay, let's check out the settings of stuff, right? I'm sure you can hear stuff. Okay, let's check the options. So they have music cues. Oh, text speed. You know, I'm a quick text speed person, pretty much like instantaneous. Are you like a fast reader, guys? But most of it, I think, if it's narration, I think it's auto mode's gotta be quick. Text speed, pretty quick. Skip mode, read only. Font. Ooh, I can pick the font. Open dyslexic. Okay. I like open dyslexic. Not because I have dyslexia, but it does make me read faster, I've noticed. I have it on my Kindle, for example. But, Source Hansan. You know what? Laura is very nice, very pretty. Look at that. You know, a larger font size is good for my old ass. Not a... I have bad eyesight. Actually, this is pretty nice for me. You guys can get larger words. Maybe you cannot see because I think the chat box hides stuff a little bit. You know. Okay, let's... Alright. Let's save first. Okay. Sound. Easy for your ass too. Gotta be. Okay, let's increase volume. Isn't that great? It's pretty good. I think I always have voice on maximums though. Come on, let me maximum the voice. And then usually music is a little softer, like there. What's this mean? Oh, okay, so they're already enabled. Oh, cool. And voice. If I hate a character's voice, I can... No, they're all maximum, I think, so it's fine. Let's keep it. Plus, there's so many characters. Let's, Okay, let's save. That's how you save it, right? It's saved, right? I hope it's saved. Is that saved?
Always double check your things before you head out.
Okay. Maximum power voice. It's always like that. There's extras too, by the way, like help. Okay. Daijoubu desu. Daijoubu desu. Let us begin. A relaxing, beautiful.
Let's read a story together.
Hey, star, black-haired babe. Ooh, fog settled over the forest, far from the villages and towns, and with it came silence. Oh, is it clicking? Birch trees shivered, pondering the weather and dropping their leaves in fright. Streams bubbled, unseen by man, and babbled like the birds in the trees. Wow! In the middle of the forest was a grove, and in the middle of that grove was a log. It had been years since it has fallen. Once one of the proudest trees around, and now in death was home to an abundance of life. Wow! A line of frantic ants ran to and fro. Mushrooms, cloud-like and pillowy, sprouted across one side, like a footpath for fairies. Fairies! Am I too soft, guys? Let me know if I'm too soft. Because, you know, I'm reading you guys a book. Nearby, an old toad flopped contentedly in the mud. But what do you mean? What happened? What do you mean? Did something happen to me? Gentle voice. So mean. I have a gentle voice if I want to. That's my normal low register of chill. Isn't this a cozy, comfortable? Don't you want to find happiness? This is the voice that I'm trying to help you find happiness with. True. Should I be reading it stupid then, huh? A line of frantic ants ran to and fro. Mushrooms, cloud-like and pillowy, sprouted across one side like a footpath for fairies. It's okay. You can go back. Okay, just let me know if I'm too soft, okay? Obviously, like, having a chill, calmer voice is easily makes it softer, right? Ooh. And inside the deep, damp hollow of the tree, something slept. A traveler strolled into the grove. Their steps were slow and tired, and they spotted the log with relief, like greeting an old friend. Weary from the day's journey, the traveler sat to take a rest. Trying to decipher what I said. Dang. Whoosh. Maybe that's the fun part. I should just read it, and then you can try and be like, what the fuck did she say? With a scrabbling of nails on rotten wood, a shadow bolted from inside the log to the tall grass nearby. The traveler watched the brush rustle as a faint patch of fur appeared within. Hello there, friend. I didn't mean to disturb you. They held their hand towards the grass, offering a piece of dried fish. At first, there was no reaction, and then... First, a snout appeared, quivering as it tested the air. Then followed the rest of the fox, sleek and tawny, as she took several slow steps forward. Her amber eyes were alight with mistrust, but also with wild, wild curiosity. It's okay, I have a different voice so that you guys can't recognize me. Once again, if I disappear into the unknown, they'll be like, that new VTuber doesn't sound like Alula. It's not me. I'm kidding. I'm never gonna graduate. Never gonna give this up. Never gonna let you guys down. The strangers sat unfazed, their offering still outstretched. No. You want me to graduate? Is that what you're saying, Martin? You want me to graduate into the unknown? The unknown? That's crazy. Yeah, never gonna tell you that I won't rickroll you. They dared to meet the fox's eyes, and in that glance felt something kindred. As the fox closed her jaws around the gift, a bond was made. Maybe we aren't so different, you and I. The traveler returned the next day, and the day after that. Each day they brought some treat for their new friend. Each day the fox's steps grew a little more trusting. One day, when the traveler arrived, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
Hello, my friend. Have you been waiting long?
Hello, I am a fox. Oh, okay, you're right, the fox doesn't talk. The fox peered up at the traveler. Her amber eyes were warm and trusting. She accepted her gift of meat, gnawing it at the traveler's feet, and then there. The traveler sat, imprinting into their mind the feeling of the wood beneath them, the clean air around them, and the tender bond of companionship.
Where is your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Or do you come to see me too? This will be the last time, I'm afraid. Because I'll be going home tomorrow.
Oh.
Home is such a small place compared to the rest of the world. Yet, it's some place I can't wait to return to. I wish I could bring you with me, little friend. I wish that you could see the world too.
Traveling fox.
Your home is all around me though, isn't it?
But travel.
It's wherever the trees are. Wherever the leaves fall. Little fox, perhaps it's you who's the more fortunate of the two of us.
But I want to see the world. All too soon it was time for the traveler to go. As they bade goodbye to the forest and to the fox, They knew that they would not return, but that they would carry the memories with them always. Hello, turtle. Dang, the next day the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently. Chapter 1 of Foxes and Fables. Chapter 1.
We've now docked at Wellington Skyport.
Wellington?
Thank you for flying with Kiwi Airlines, and we hope to see you again.
Kiwi Airlines. But they can't fly. Unless the fruit? Kiwi Airlines. Yeah, it's the Kiwi Airlines. The intercom's announcement is muffled in the closet where I'm hiding. I'm hiding in a closet? Okay. Just like the clatter of the seatbelts and the chattering of passengers getting ready to disembark. They're going to Lord of the Rings land, yeah. That's me! I wiggle around impatiently, sore from crouching in here, for I don't even know how long it's been. Hours for sure. The last few minutes always feel like they take the longest. A parade of footsteps begin to pass by outside my door. It's time. I listen carefully, waiting for a gap in the crowd. When it comes, I stand up and push the door open in a single movement. I give a wink to the shocked-looking lady that I stepped out in front of. She doesn't even have the time to gasp before I'm out of her sight. Humans, they're always kind of slow. I nod at a smiling flight attendant as I pass her by, and then I throw up my hood to cover my face. It's been a while since I last flew, but it doesn't seem like things have changed much. It's always been harder to sneak on them than it is to sneak off. I'm traveling without a passport? I'm an illegal immigrant? Oh no. Oh. I like how everyone's like, wow, she's cool, and Alula's here worried that I don't have my papers at all. I'm an illegal immigrant. I didn't even pay for the airport. We broke the law! But we're so hot. We're hot. We're cute. Isn't that okay? I'm too cute to go to jail. You can't put me in there. I follow the crowd to the end of the walkway and step out onto the ground. After a long stretch, I take a deep breath and savor the fresh air after being stowed away for so long. Where was I hiding? Where? Wellington Airport. Wait, Wellington Skyport, New Zealand. It's New Zealand! That's a real place that I've never been there. It's time to tour the islands, the archipelago of New Zealand. New Zealand. Alright. I didn't read that the setting was quite a while ago. I read that the game's setting was set in New Zealand, which is a choice. No, I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't think. I don't know anything about New Zealand, but that's okay.
I made it!
Wow, she's a lot cuter than my narration voice, and it's much higher up there. My breathless voice joins the pleasant hum of the skyport. A few clouds drift hazily overhead, almost within arm's reach. The sound of the waves rolling onto the shore is like a lullaby. It makes me want to bury into the sand and take a nap. Awooga? She's Fang? Yeah, she's a fox. But I can't. First, I need to get out of here. And there's one more challenge ahead. Security. Up ahead. Oh, see, I knew it! The snaking line of passengers splits as people are funneled into a few security stations. While I'm too far back to hear what the guards are saying, it looks like they're examining a little booklet from each traveler before letting them pass. Humans sure like processes and procedures. My passport. I definitely don't have a booklet like that. Glancing around, I hope to find another way out. An open window would work, or even an unguarded exit. I'm pretty sneaky when I need to be. Unfortunately, it looks like the only way to leave is to go through security. Without any other option, I join one of the lines and prepare myself. I have to do this the old-fashioned way. The line moves briskly as passengers are cleared one after the other, and I'm almost at the front of the queue before I know it. As the passenger in front of me approaches the booth, I listen closely.
Good afternoon. Passport, please.
Right here. It's good to be home.
I'm sure. Welcome back.
He stamps something in the man's booklet and then hands it back to him, and he continues on out of the skyport.
Next.
Next? Oh, that's me. I don't know what they do to people without any papers, but I don't want to find out. I'm sure it involves lots of questions, being escorted around, and other unpleasant stuff. Casually approaching the gate, I put on my brightest, friendliest smile, while keeping a slight distance. With my breathing steady and tail calm, I'm sure I put on a convincing act.
It's not a New Zealand accent. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Passport, please.
Papers, please. Papers, please. Papers, please.
Of course.
I fumble around in my pockets, pretending to look for my passport. Instead, I grab the useless, clunky phone that I've been carrying around and let it clatter to the ground at the guard's feet. As expected, he bends down to retrieve it for me,
Oh, let me get that for you.
and I make a run for it, bolting ahead and rushing past the security booths as quickly as I can. I'm a criminal on the run. Oh God.
Hey, you wait.
Stop!
But the phone! I called it useless. I didn't need that. Does it look like I have anyone to call? I can just get a new one. And then I can call my acquaintances. And I'll call. And then they'll say, hello? Who? Or someone will call me in my new phone. And I'll say, new phone, who this? So, by the time they realize what's happened, I've already have a few seconds head start. My inhuman speed, combined with the natural chaos of the skyport, should also buy me a bit of time. Still, I've got to get them off my tail.
Oh yeah. Question mark.
New phone with this policeman lady.
Ready to arrest me.
Dashing through the skyport doors and out into the road outside, I don't even have time to take in the city. Without stopping for breath, I run into the narrow streets, whilst weaving between cars and shocked bystanders. Being seen by so many people like this is annoying, but it won't matter by tomorrow. Putting a thought out of my mind, I vault over a low wall into a nearby alley and land in a crouch. Out of sight, but only for a moment, I close my eyes and relax my muscles. All feeling disappears except a slight warmth against my neck. My secret weapon. The unremarkable looking necklace is one of my only possessions, and by far the most important. A certain one of the beads strung around my neck begins to heat up in response to my will, a soothing warmth flowing through my body.
Magic.
My hands and feet begin to morph first, the fur chasing up my arms and legs as they distort and shorten. The sensation was so bizarre the first few times I tried it. It's amazing how it's become second nature by now. Closing my eyes, I let my body and head shift and turn. The face is always a little uncomfortable, my once human face changing and lengthening into a snout with some difficulty. The process completes after only a few seconds. I open my eyes not as a human, but as a fox.
It's me, Fox.
I dart away without waiting, far quicker on 4 legs than I ever could be on 2.
Holding ASMR. Welcome, Leon. Welcome.
Indeed, we're playing a very chill and relaxing visual novel. Please be happy. So, narration can be very ASMR, I guess. I mean, and people don't believe I have such a nice calming ASMR voice. I don't do ASMR. I'm not trying to.
I just can do naturally calming cutie.
Welcome, welcome. Feel free to relax. Okay? Let's see. Obstacles like the stack of garbage cans ahead would be a pain to get past as a human, but instead I'm able to fit between the gaps without slowing down.
That's her! I know it!
Sounds like the security guard hasn't given up on me yet. I pick up the pace, running as fast as my paws will take me. His heavy breathing gets farther and farther away, and in just a minute or two, I know I'm safe. I don't know where I am, but it's not like I knew where I was when I started running. I almost feel bad for the guy who was chasing me. He never stood a chance. Even in the crowded city streets, there's no way anyone or anything that can outrun me. The wind just wishes it could keep up with me. Comfortable that the danger's past, I slip into another alley. Once I'm sure that I'm alone, I close my eyes and concentrate on the form I want to take once more. The familiar flowing warmth runs through me again, my body stretching and deforming at my command. A few seconds later, and I open my eyes to glance at my hands.
Better luck next time.
Kitsune Musume, it's true.
Brushing the dust off myself, I nonchalantly stroll out of the alleyway and back into the street. The odd person walks by on this errand or another, not paying any attention to me, just the way I like it.
Left, right, past turn, left.
Love what?
Mapping out the path in my head, I look for a way to the main roads. It'll be easier to get my bearings there. I pick turns at random without any real destination in mind. When I decided to make a journey to Wellington, it was pretty impulsive. I'd overheard another pair of travelers talking about it, and how beautiful a city it was. With a moment now to take in the scenery, I can see they weren't wrong. The streets around here seem like a mix of homes and businesses. Everything is very colorful. Even the brick walls are covered in pictures and paint. In the distance, I can see green hills that are lined with houses, as well as green hills that are completely empty. There are a lot of hills now that I look around some. From just a few streets away, the sound of pedestrians and busy intersections float my way. I head in its direction, taking shortcuts through yards and driveways when it's convenient. In one lawn, a big dog growls at me as I walk past, but when I transform and growl right back, he tucks his tail and runs away. Dogs and I have always had a understanding. After squeezing through one last narrow side street, I finally emerge onto what looks like a main road. There's no cars here, but tons of people on foot.
Wow, pretty place.
Wow.
There are brightly colored signs and decorations on most of the buildings. In the middle of the street, there are fountains and benches and trees and all kinds of stuff. The best part is the variety of stores. When I stroll past a few of the windows and peek in, I can already tell that I'll be able to do most of my shopping around here. 5-finger discount? Is that she's safe?
5-finger discount shopping. I do not condone 5-finger discount shopping. Welcome, Pass. Welcome.
Hello, I'm not cutie.
She is a cutie, though. Main character cutie. Welcome. Very relaxing visual novel time, so I'm very chill reading. There are stores with food, with clothes, and with just about everything else. I don't have any money on me, but that isn't exactly a problem.
5-finger discount. 10-finger discount better than 5?
What is a problem is that it's too crowded. Dodging a couple of security guards is one thing, but trying to escape down a busy street with lots of people could be too much, even for me. I'll just have to remember where this place is and make another visit later, after all the shops are closed. Then a man in a bright coat hurries past me, talking loudly on his phone in a language I don't recognize. He's so distracted that he doesn't notice But he doesn't even notice when his wallet falls out of his pocket and onto the sidewalk.
Oh no!
I notice, of course. I do.
Free money.
Seeing an opportunity, I zip over and snatch it up. Prying open the black leather pockets, I find...
Score.
I find money.
a couple of bills in what I figure is the local currency. I slide the money out and into a pocket of my jacket. By now the man is so far ahead he's almost out of sight. I have to hurry to catch up to him and give him back his wallet. And he barely even says thank you.
I should have just kept the whole thing.
It's only fair that I get a little something for myself, since it's not like he would have ever gotten it back without me.
Money! Is this what New Zealand money looks like? It looks like it's the plastic kind. I kind of like plastic money a bit better. Paper money tears really easily. I'm really clumsy with my paper money. They kind of get ripped a lot. Not to a bad degree, but you know, it gets crumpled. It's hard to crumple the plastic notes. I mean, if you can, that's kind of insane. You could, I mean. I head back to the bench and inspect my price. There is one difference, is that you could, if your money is paper, you could technically forget it in your pocket and still iron your pants or your dress, and you won't burn your money. You know, you had a really flat bill in your pocket instead. But if you had plastic money and you ironed your pockets that had the money in it, you would have a mess. This is, perhaps I'm speaking from experience. Thank you for the hydrate. I have some smoothies here. I have $15. No money, no problem. Indeed, Jason. After all, that's what this main character is doing. She's got the 5-finger discount. It's free. A blue bill and a brown one. These feel sturdy, nothing like the paper I expected. Are you winning, son? Hello, welcome, friend. Yes. By the way, we're playing. You know, it's, you know, still have to take the money in your pocket while ironing.
I forget to take out tissue paper very often when I was younger. And I used to wear uniforms. So my uniforms were like dark colored. So they'd end up in the wash, and I would need to get lectured, and I would be given a lint cleaner, a lint roller, and be told to, you know, to clean it up. And I'm like, this is fair, I guess. But it's pretty often. You didn't know about the 5-finger shuffle?
I don't know what the 5-finger shuffle is.
Jason, but
let's see. Sturdy paper money.
1, 0, 10, and 5. So 15.
I can do basic math.
that's pretty good for a fox, I'm just saying.
15 isn't much. I definitely should have kept the whole wallet.
Oh well, at least this should be enough to buy myself something to drink. That'll be $20, man. What are you talking about? Inflation. It's kind of insane. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know how much 15 New Zealand dollars are. 10 out of 10 maths. 1, 0, 10. My thirst is starting to get the better of me, as I haven't had anything since I snuck onto the airship. Following my nose, I walk down the busy street until I find one of the many cafes lining the path. The sign hanging above its front door has a picture of a bell on it.
Oh, pretty.
A charming bell rings out from above the door as I enter.
I can't help but savor the wave of refreshing, cool air washing over me, which feels even better after so much running.
Hiya! Welcome to the Bell House.
I mean, you people, are you an animal person too? I'm an animal person, you're an animal person. Are we all just animal people? Is this the society? Is this just what New Zealand is like? The only map I know is you and me is awesome. Very nice. The barista behind the counter is the only other person in the store right now, as I nod in greeting, and she leans forward with a cup in one hand and a pen in her other.
What can I get you? We're having a special on affogatos if you want to try one.
Affogato! There's more sheeps than humans in Kiwiland. That's where we are now! Kiwiland! It's straight up set New Zealand! We're in New Zealand, baby! I've never been to New Zealand. I've never thought about going to New Zealand. Actually, I have, but...
Usually, they're like $7, but today, they're only $5.
$5.
I'd like a...
I'm not sure what an affogato is. Is that a vegetable? Not wanting to commit to a strange sounding drink, I look at the menu instead. Unfortunately, it's full of handwritten, spindly letters. I can't read a single word, and there are no helpful pictures. Safe option it is.
I'll just have a vanilla latte.
Vanilla latte is pretty good choice. Affogato is ice cream with elixir. Is it elixir? Maybe I don't know what an affogato is. Maybe I'm just thinking of a Vienna coffee. That one is whipped cream on it. Vienna coffee. It's...
boring.
Caffeine.
Okay. Name?
Boring. Rude. Rude. Stop judging my coffee order, ma'am. I do like a vanilla latte. I like a caramel latte, dude. You have vanilla caramel? I do like my coffee sweet. I'm actually not super... I'm very picky with tea. But with coffee, I'm a little bit looser on what I like, you know? More stuff I like. It's pretty funny. But I still try not to drink too much of coffee. It goes right through me. Directly into the veins. It's pretty scary.
Miho.
Miho. Miho. It's my first time testing out how that name sounds, and I decide that I like it. Coffee black with no sugar. The manly option. I see. Great for magic restoration. Sometimes the magic restoration is a temporary buff for me, and I have a negative buff afterwards. So I decided on the airship that was my name I would use here in Wellington. I've used so many names throughout my life that I can't remember most of them. Ish. Sorry. For each new city that I visit, I come up with something new. Foxes don't have any use for names, so nobody ever gave me one. She scribbles something in a cup with a black marker. If that's how this name looks, then I'm even more pleased with it.
$4.50, please.
Oh, okay, 450? I hand her the brown bill and she gives me back a big coin with a picture of a boat on it.
Alright, I'll have this ready for you in no time.
She sure seems enthusiastic. I nod as she spins around and starts working. Looking about somewhere to sit, I decide on a seat by the window with the sun pouring in. Near the entrance of the cafe, there's a wire rack with a stack of maps and tourist pamphlets, so I grab one of the maps before taking my seat. This cafe is big and bright, with plants everywhere. They're on the walls, on the floor, and on the ceiling. Most of them are real and vibrant, obviously being well cared for. Even the lights that hang down from the ceiling here have glass ornaments with little shrubs in them. Seems like I made a good choice coming here. Any place with a bit of nature in it is more comfortable to me in places without.
I guess I should find a place to stay.
But I don't have any money. Looking down to the map I traced the path I made from the port to this cafe. It's useful, but it doesn't really tell me anything helpful about the houses in particular. I need to find a higher vantage point. I moved my finger along the hills I noticed from outside, following the little brown path to a patch of green with a little mountain icon. That should work for now.
Miho!
My ears perk up right as the barista arrives and places my drink in front of me.
Thanks!
I reach over and take the warm cup in my hand, but the barista doesn't let go.
You ready for the rain tomorrow? Huh?
Oh, what me when someone tries to talk to me? If someone made me my coffee and then say "Alula," and then she said that, I would also go "Huh." Miho is relatable. Huh?
It's gonna rain tomorrow.
I glance behind me out the window. It's as sunny and blue as a day as I've ever seen.
How do you know that? There aren't any clouds out there. I'm just good with the weather. Anyway, if you forget, then you'll be sorry.
She finally lets go of my drink and heads back behind the counter.
Okay, people are weird.
Does the barista pull that on everyone? Standing on the doorstep, I have my first sip.
Oh, this is really good.
It's pretty plain, but well made. The coffee isn't too bitter, which is perfect for me. The BGM is kind of gone. With a moment to myself, my thoughts turn inwards as I sip the warm drink. My first travels were in search of someone, but despite my whole life being spent trying, I haven't made any progress in finding them. So I've taken to simply wandering, going wherever I wish to at the time. Wherever I wish at the time. I've been itching for a change of scenery anyway, so I snuck onto the first airship that I could. The best part about owning nothing but the clothes on my back is that I can pick up and leave whenever I feel like it. Ooh. I take a moment to get my bearings and look around. I see a tired-looking person shuffling along the far footpath with a briefcase in their hand. They stop outside one of the buildings, take a deep breath, and pat their face a couple times, then go inside. They must not be looking forward to whatever is going to happen in there. Maybe they're going to have to fight someone. Through the large glass windows of another store, a fawn is trying on a pair of shoes, but they don't seem to fit her hooves. The people waiting for her look annoyed. I wonder if she fusses around with her footwear a lot. For a while, I simply let the day roll by and watched various figures who stroll by. People watching is fun, especially in such a busy city. I used to do a lot of people watching back in the day. I am a bit busier now, but whenever I can ever be in a nice cafe, I do enjoy people watching. It's fun. It's nice to people watch and drink something, or have a pudding. Pretty chill. I had great times like that for a while here too. And also the fact that there's people, they're hoof people too. So I guess animal people are kind of normal in this society. But, maybe they're just uncommon because it looks like there's the fawn, hoof, they're cloven hooved. Very interesting. Eventually, I go to sip my coffee, only to find nothing coming out. With no more reason to stick around, it's time to go. On the sunlight streets, I look about to match what I can see with the map's directions. There's a tall green mountain in the distance ahead of me, which must be the one on the map. It'll be the perfect vantage point for the city. Ideally, I'll find an empty building I can crash in, but it's not necessary. A roof over my head will be nice, but I'm plenty used to sleeping outside under the stars. Sometimes it's better than sleeping in a bed. Encouraged by the plan forming in my head, I set off on the long walk to the summit. Gentle music back. The path to the mountain turns out to be less simple than the map made it look. First, the trail takes me along the waterfront, and then it turns upwards through a small forested area. Being among the trees and their tall shadows make me feel at home. When the path leaves the woods again, I'm a little disappointed. It leads up to a paved road, so I stick up to the edge to avoid passing cars. Sometimes I take shortcuts through the yards or up unmarked paths. There are quite a few nice-looking homes right along the roadside. I make a mental note to go check on them. Check them out when I'm low on money or food. Robbery! Not much further along, a concrete lookout offers another glimpse of the city above. Below. No, not above. Below. A couple airships are coming in to dock at the skyport. Probably from one of the other floating islands. Floating island? This is... The floating islands? New Zealand's a floating island? No one told me this. The fictional floating island town of New Zealand? Oh! Okay. Alright. So, airplane, no. Not an airplane, but airship. Is this like some universe where like the Hindenburg accident never happened as well? Airships, yes! Yes! Blimps, let's go. Who knows? Maybe that's what they call airplanes in this world. There's still a ways to go to the top of the mountain, but luckily the walk has been easy so far. That's so weird. It's like a magic isekai-ish energy, you know? Modern day fantasy. That's probably what this setting is, you know? I wouldn't even consider it a hike. Eventually I reach the final stretch of the road. I can see where it curves ahead to the summit, and I hurry to the end. A metal railing spreads out like a crown on top of the mountain. As I go to toss my empty cup away, a pair of chattering tourists pass me by.
How far is it from here?
Oh, about an hour from the base of Mount Victoria, so a bit further from here.
Mount Victoria.
Glad to know what this place is called. I say the name out loud to help commit it to memory. Mount Victoria, Mount Victoria. Standing at the edge. I know I should be reading this really normally, but I'm also just... My brain doesn't work okay because I'm just thinking of that MGS5 song. Standing on the edge. Oh. I'm okay, I swear. Okay, let's... Focus! Focus! I need to focus! Standing at the edge, I'm treated to a wonderful view of Wellington. The city forms a crescent moon shape around the bay, which glitters like a sapphire from up here. The sun is starting to set, and that makes the water even more shimmery. Even more airships can be seen coming and going. I think that I can even see the edges of the floating island we're on, miles out in the open sky. I survey the city using the skyport as a reference point. From up here, what felt like such a long chase really doesn't look far at all. If I strain my eyes, I think I can even see the coffee shop from earlier. What was it the barista said it was called? The Bell House? It's kind of tough to make out details. My hearing and sense of smell may be great, but my eyes aren't that much better than a human's. And I noticed something useful.
Look! Is that our house?
Probably. What can you see from here?
I see Dad's car!
Not too far away, there's a little kid who's using a pair of metal tubes attached to a post. His mom is helping him aim it at the city. It must be something that improves your vision. The moment the kid and his mom leave, I hurry over before someone else can get to them first. I press my eyes to the same spot the kid did, though. All I can see is black. I try moving it around, but it doesn't change. Is this thing busted? Some text is printed on the side. I have no idea what it says. There's a small slot, though with a picture of a coin next to it. Lucky for me, it is the coin that has a 50 on it. I put the coin that I received from the barista into the slot and spin the lever. The machine eats my coin, and then when I put my eyes to it again...
Yes!
Oh, pretty! Everything looks so much closer now. Even the trees on the other side of the hill appear in crystal clear detail, like I'm standing right next to them. I aim the viewing glasses at the city and look around, trying to find a good place to rest for the night. Houses are a no-go. Even if they look empty or abandoned, you can never let your guard down for a minute. Same with most shops. I don't have money for a hotel, and I won't risk sneaking to one of those either. As I'm studying the signs, trying to memorize as much as I can, is a clicking sound, and once again the view goes black. Stupid machine. I smack it a couple times and check again, but still can't see anything.
Well, whatever.
I've never paid for one of these things, cause it's really short. The time that it is, it's really short, and I'm like, I'll be so upset that my money being gone, and it's such a short time, you know.
Looks like I'm sleeping outside tonight. Guess this place is as good as any.
I head back down to the trail. Down the trail a little bit and veer off of it into the underbush. Forest time.
Not perfect, but it'll do.
I'm roughing it out in the wilderness. It's not exactly the wilderness. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, it's not the wilderness. Okay, I just thought it might be the wilderness. But just about everything around here seems cityfied to some extent. Usually when I make a den, I prefer to find a place far from other people. A place where nobody will find me. I doubt I'll find anything perfect, but this is good enough.
It's fine. Can't afford to be picky.
Once the trail I was on is out of sight, I transform again. My neck gets warm as my bead activates, and a few seconds later, I'm on all fours. As a fox, the sensations of nature are much stronger. The earth beneath my paws is cool and refreshing, and the breeze whips through my tails like a massage. I hurry down the hill covered in grass so tall that it reaches way over my head. I can smell fresh water and follow the scent to a small stream where I'm able to quench my thirst. It's just as satisfying as the drink I got at the cafe, but in a different way. And being able to slurp it up water is way more enjoyable than having to use a straw, or worse, one of those little lids with the tiny holes. For a little while, I follow my nose to some berries and some edible plants they'll do for a snack. Unfortunately, like the water, foraging is never as satisfying as eating human food. If I want a real meal tonight, then I should pick up the pace before it gets too late. Still, I want to get this done now while there's still daylight. I keep close to the stream and search for a place where the ground is soft. Before too long, I find a promising area. A small valley with hills on most sides and thick foliage on the others. I'm still close enough to civilization to hear cars and other city noise, but the area I'm in doesn't seem like it gets visited very often. At the very least, it doesn't really smell like people. The spot that I settle on is a nice mound of earth near the edge of the woods, partially hidden by a tall tree with low-hanging leaves. Even if no one comes by, it makes me feel better knowing that I'll be out of sight. And so, I start to dig. My claws rip away the dirt as I burrow downwards, widening the tunnel just enough for my sleek frame to fit. First, I dig forward, and then downwards, widening out an area that's big enough for my whole body to fit. This is something I've been doing my whole life, even back when I was just a regular fox. I think that's why I don't mind it too much. Compared to sleeping inside somewhere, this feels right to me. I got my own little den. Takes a little while, and by the time I'm finally finished, the first few stars have started to peek out from the sky. I shake myself clean of the dirt that sticks to my coat, and then transform back to my human form.
Spread this here, a couple of branches here, some leaves there.
I walk around the valley a bit, checking from different angles.
Not bad for just an afternoon's work.
One whole den. If you weren't looking for it, I don't think you'd ever notice anything out of place. All that digging has made me work up an appetite, and not just the kind that I'll be satisfied with just a few berries.
Ugh, I'm so hungry. I haven't had a real meal since yesterday.
My stomach rumbles painfully. I've been so busy since arriving here in Wellington that I just kind of forgot how hungry I was. I'll grab some human food back in town, casting one last glance at my afternoon's work, I set off towards the city.
Work never ends. Time to get some food!
Food time! Whoa! I wonder what we'll have for dinner. I'm a bit disappointed when I finally get back to the busy street from before. I was hoping that it would be emptier now, and that all of the stores would be closed. Turns out I was half right. A lot of the shops have gone dark for the evening, but there are just as many people walking around as there were earlier. In fact, there might be more. The patio of a restaurant has a bunch of tables full. A mermaid is sitting in the fountain I sat by earlier, chatting with a cyclops. Even the cafe I visited is crowded now, with a line almost out the door. Dang, is a so many creatures. A mermaid? A cyclops? Dang. Magic society. Fantasy society. After pacing up and down the road for a while, I sit down and try to figure out what to do next. I'm not too worried about what would happen if I got caught stealing. I'd just escape, obviously. And even if they somehow managed to catch me, it wouldn't be an issue for very long. See, there's something different about me that makes me extra good at being a thief. It's not just the skills I've practiced over the years, like picking locks and sneaking around. No, it's a bit more special than that. Without fail, every single person I meet forgets about me by the next day. I don't know why, but I don't really care either. It's magic, that's all I really know about it. It's really useful magic. Everywhere I go, no matter how careless I am, all my problems are solved by the next day. What the heck is a sad life? She finds it convenient. That doesn't mean that there's no danger. I've been caught in the act before and beaten or harassed before I can manage to get away. I've even lost a few prizes that I stole fair and square because I had to get going in a hurry. But if someone sees me, but isn't able to stop me, I know that I'll be home free. Sure, they might remember having something stolen, but they'll never know who did it. Almost makes things too easy. Right now, it'd be smarter to just come back even later, in the dead of night, and hope that there are no people around. I'd be able to take my time browsing, without having to worry about making a quick escape. Where's the fun in that, though? I walk up casually, up and down the street, glancing to windows without being too obvious about it. Some stores still have customers inside, others have locked their doors and shut off the lights. Most of the restaurants are still open, and are only making me hungrier. Our problem's gone the next day. What about the problem of loneliness? Maybe that's what this whole game is about, you know? It's chill. Staying from the restaurants is a bit much even for me, though I've tried it before, but the cluttered kitchens as well as the tables and chairs make it hard to get around. Plus, I've learned the hard way that there are plenty of hot or sharp things for angry cooks to throw at you as you try to make your way out. Instead, packaged and pre-made foods are my best friends. Things that I can grab multiples of at once and stuff into my pockets. I'm more surprised she just doesn't do a dine and dash. Like, you could probably order and have a great stuff, and then before you go pay your bill, you just say, I'm gonna head to the bathroom, and you just leave, and you know, the restaurant will find out, but they'll forget you by the next day, right? So, and you know, I don't think she's learned the fine art of dine and dash yet. If I'm really lucky, I'll find a place with refrigerated sandwiches or salads, or sometimes perfectly good hot food gets thrown out. You wouldn't believe the kind of stuff that's available if you don't mind sifting through the trash a little bit. It's not ideal, of course, but a hot meal is a hot meal. I know plenty of foxes who've eaten much worse.
Target spotted.
Oh. What do I see? Oh my god. Konbini snacks. It's perfect, a small convenience store, snacks lined up behind the front window. Even better, shops on either side of it are closed too, so it's not many other people in the area.
Locked, huh? Not surprising.
But it's a convenience store. Aren't those supposed to be open for
They're not 24 hours? Rookie mistake. I head down the nearby alley to find a back door, which is probably where they bring in new products. The alleyway is dark to begin with, and my dark clothes help me hide even better. I glance around the alleyway, glad, like always, for my excellent night vision. Nobody's watching. Nobody's even around. I pull my hood up to my ears and tuck my tail between my legs. Leaning against the sturdy door, to anyone who's not looking closely, I'm sure appears nothing more than a shadow. I dig around my pocket until I can find my trusty lockpick, and then set to work on the door. It isn't a complicated lock at all, just a regular keyhole. Nobody will know. Steals 100 boxes of Pocky. With a click, the latch springs open just a few short moments later.
Bingo. Huh?
Bingo bongo, huh? I try to tug the door towards me, but there's a chain on the inside that keeps it from opening very wide. There's no way a human could fit through the gap, but it will be easy for a fox. First, I slink away for a bit, idling on the nearby street like a regular pedestrian. I wait to see if anyone shows up, just in case I triggered a silent security system. After about 10 minutes, I decide it's safe. I transform under the cover of darkness in the alley and slip into the building before transforming back. The shop isn't very big, and the receiving area is just a small hallway with a few boxes of soda and candy bars on the floor. I grab a couple of my favorites and shove them in my pocket. Apollo, the little mushroom chocolates, gum. When I creep into the main area, I make sure to stay low as the ground, trying to avoid being seen from outside. I'm not exactly hidden, but as long as I don't stand up, I shouldn't attract anyone's attention. I move fast, cramming as much into my coat as I can. Cookies, protein bars, popcorn. I'm not very picky. When my coat starts to feel pretty heavy, I grab a plastic bag from behind the counter and transfer some of my loot into there. I also take a few bottles of water and sports drinks from the coolers. Just as I'm about to leave, I spot a few of those coveted plastic wrapped sandwiches that I was thinking about earlier. Yummy sando.
Jackpot!
Isando.
I fill my bag with sandwiches until it's almost overflowing, and then I head back out the way I came in. In total, I was in and out under 5 minutes, and I've got enough supplies to last me several days. Ish. Sorry, I need to move a thing. It's being silly. There we go. There we go. Much better. When I step into the alley, I glance around in both directions, making sure no one saw me emerge from the store. I don't see anyone, but my neck prickles as if someone is watching me. Is there a security camera, ma'am? Did I trigger a security camera? That's being watched, right? Okay. I sniff the air, but I don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Nothing that wasn't there before. She lifted the whole shop, pretty much. So much. Still. Suddenly, there's a flap of wings and a bat flutters past me from out of the shadows. It goes right over my head and disappears from sight up the street.
Oh, that's it?
I let out the breath I've been holding and start making my way back towards the mountain where I made my den. Maybe it wasn't a security camera then. Luckily, it was just a bat. I let the bag swing from my arms as I walk. Whistling a song I heard earlier, I'm not able to keep a smile off my face.
All in all, not a bad first day.
Food.
I've got a nice nest, food to spare, and plenty of places to explore tomorrow.
Wow. There have been plenty of days in my life where I had none of those things. I unwrap one of the sandwiches I grabbed and take a big bite.
Nothing beats the taste of hard work.
All in all,
No, not the fuel bunker. All in all. Don't be silly. I hope Wellington continues to treat me well while I'm here.
So tired. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight.
I unpack everything that I got from the store, as well as the treasures that I always carry with me. My lockpick, my wallet, a few pretty stones. The only thing that I leave in my jacket is a small scroll.
Can't get that damaged or dirty.
I change back into a fox and then dig another hole near the entrance to my den. This one is much simpler and shallower, and I bury some of the snacks that I stole before covering them back up with dirt.
Not like anyone's gonna come by and swipe my things, but better safe than sorry. I stole this myself after all. Don't want it being stolen from me.
I'm just more surprised she doesn't just put it deeper in the den, but alright. Stuff like my pen and my favorite rock go into the burrow with me, since I like having them close by. Once I've gotten everything where it belongs, I climb into the hole myself, turning a few circles before settling down with my tail wrapped around me. From here, I have a perfect view of the stars. I look up at the clear night sky through the mouth of the tunnel. I feel bad for all the people way down on the underworld.
Can they even see the stars from there?
I've never been to the underworld, so I have no idea. I can't imagine falling asleep without them. Comfortable and safe, I close my eyes and quickly slip off to dreamland. I wake up to trouble, or at least a threat. Oh no! I'm sure it's only morning as I peer out of the burrow's entrance, but the sky is already dark and foreboding. My attention moves from the ominous rain clouds above to the trees outside my den, their branches shaking in the strong breeze. Ah, the rain! What the lady said, the barista girl said, was right.
I can't believe that girl from the cafe was right.
Dang. I climb up the tunnel and out into the open, sniffing the air. It just tells me what I already know. A storm is coming and fast. But also, there's another scent plays on my nose, one so faint that I almost brush it off without taking another smell. Surely I'm wrong. There's no way that, lowering my snout to the ground, I investigate the area and then decide that I'm right. I change in my human form and look around.
Someone's been here.
No! Sneaky! Yes, someone's definitely been here. But this scent isn't a human's. It's vaguely familiar, but at the same time, not like anything I recognize.
And it definitely wasn't here when I went to sleep.
Uh-oh. They must have come here in the night and stopped right outside my den.
Were they watching me sleep?
What is this, Twilight?
Oh crap!
Sus. As a fox, I dive back into my hole and make sure everything is still there. My heart pounds in my chest, but nothing appears to be missing. I also checked the spot where I buried my stash last night, but it hasn't been disturbed either. I breathe a sigh of relief. If any of my stuff had been stolen, I'd be so mad. But that still doesn't answer the question of what did they want? And that's even more concerning. I'm a pretty light sleeper, and usually the slightest sound or motion will wake me up. So if someone was able to sneak up on me, even I had to be impressed. Impressed and a little bit worried. I've got a more pressing issue right now, though, and I stare up at the sky in disappointment.
Ugh, I hate the rain.
I would have found a different place to make my nest and hide my supplies if I knew this would happen. Instead, both burrows will probably just be piles of mud by the end of the day.
I should have found a place with a roof after all.
Oh, I fill my pockets with my most important possessions and some of the food I grabbed last night. Everything else I wrap as tightly in the plastic bags as I can and bury them in my den. Hopefully I can find somewhere fast and then move everything else over before it gets ruined. An abandoned house would be perfect, or some other place where I'd be able to hide. I'm just about to get going when I heard a loud flapping sound overhead catches my attention. I expect it to be a bird, but instead, it's yet another bat. Ugh. This one's even bigger than the one I saw last night. Its wings are way longer and noisier. I can even hear it squeaking something as it flies past. Some people say bats and foxes are similar. I don't see it. I'll watch it fly around for a little while before it takes off towards the city.
Maybe it knows somewhere to stay. Guess I'll follow it for now.
Sure. A couple of times it disappears between the trees or just too far ahead, but I always manage to catch back up. Eventually we're out of the woods and back into civilization, where a car whizzes right past me. There's a sidewalk here and other people walking around. Most of them look up to the sky nervously, though, and everyone seems to be in a hurry.
Guess I'm not the only one looking to get away from the rain.
Oh, more people seem to be going in the direction I was headed than anywhere else. So I stick to that. By now my winged guide is almost out of sight again. Just a little black speck in the sky flying to the distance. Farther up this road there's a slope that leads to a big, fancy-looking building. It doesn't look like a shop or a restaurant, at least not the one I've ever seen. But there's so many people going in and out, that it has to be open to the public. That's good enough for me. It'll give me somewhere to dry to spend. Sorry, excuse me. It'll give me somewhere dry to spend some time, and maybe I can learn something useful. Plus, places like this usually have plenty of valuables inside. If I'm lucky, I might be able to find something to fund my next few days. After all, the bigger the target, the less likely they are to notice something's missing. The sturdy oak door isn't as heavy as it looks, a firm push being enough to heave it open. Gingerly stepping inside and out of the rain, I'm greeted by books. Lots of books. Books on shelves, books on tables, books on the floor, books everywhere.
So many books. I love books, guys.
The place even smells of musty old paper, and the dozen or so people inside are mostly leafing through pages in the aisles. The odd silence about the building is striking, given how many are around. It doesn't look like a shop, so I assume this must be a library. I've heard of them, but I've never been in one. No point since I can't read at all. But it's warm and cozy and very dry, so it'll do just fine. There's a desk near the entrance with a computer on it that I assume would be where I check in. It's unattended, which is good for me. I take a seat in the empty chair nearby and sit back just to observe for a bit. There are plenty of people, but it's not too busy. Lots of empty one-watch spaces. Most folks seem to be here alone or in small groups that keep to themselves. There's not much conversation going on, and what there is all whispered. Nobody gives me a second glance, which is a good sign. It means I'm probably not breaking any rules, but just by being here. Behind the desk, there's a hallway leading deeper into the building, and I peeked around the corner to see what's back there. All I can see are some shut doors, and at the very back, a staircase. After glancing around to make sure no one's watching, I sneak down the hall and try a couple of the doors. All of them are locked. I could probably pick them if I wanted to. No sense trying to do that now, though. Is there anything more valuable around? An antique clock or vase would be perfect.
Vase?
Vase.
It's an antique vase.
Sadly, it's almost all books. Books and small trinkets that look pretty worthless. Not even worth the trouble of stealing. At least it's got a roof. I do spot a couple promising items, like a set of old coins, and memorize their locations. I wander back to the main area where I came in. Outside, it hasn't started raining yet, but it's only a matter of time. The wind is loud and gusty, and even opening the door is enough to make me shiver. Nothing else, I can probably wait out the rain here, but my poor Abandoned snacks back at the den. What a waste. Can't do anything about it now, though. I should keep looking around. I move slowly through the area, never going beyond what seems to be the public area. Pretend to inspect a few books, taking them off the shelves and flipping through the pages, but I'm actually mapping out the place in my head. Doors, windows, and potential places to hide. Things like that. Most of the time, this kind of info is unnecessary. It's been at least a few decades since I had to make a dramatic escape from anywhere. At this point, plotting the escape route is just habit. Overall, I like what I'm seeing. Even with the locked doors and off-limit hallways, there are a lot of nooks and crannies that would make good hiding spots, especially as a fox. In the thick dust that coats a lot of the areas, I can tell that I don't get a whole lot of visitors. If I'm careful, I might be able to go a whole week or more without being noticed. As long as you can get in and out of the building easily, that is. And with the huge windows that line the back wall, that seems easy enough too. I weave around a couple shelves that are taller than I am, heading for the far back corner. I peer around the corner of the last aisle just to make sure I'm alone. But I'm not. At a small table by the window sits a woman with a small book in her hand, resting against her fingers.
Pretty girl.
She's perfectly still, but mouths the words on the page as she reads, like she's tasting them instead of just seeing them. Her expression has a distant look of someone way off in their own world, far away from this one. She looks so at peace that I think she must belong to that other world. She's beautiful and elegant in the same way as a painting, with the light from the window shining on her like a display. I duck back behind the bookshelf, pressing one hand to my racing heart. My other bumps against one of the books on the shelf, and it falls with a dusty thump.
Oh no, I'm being perceived.
Cursing my clumsiness, I silently back away, in case she decides to investigate, but she doesn't leave her chair.
I suppose it's nothing.
She turns and gazes out the open window. At what? I don't know. A moment later, she returns to her book and leaves this world again. I stay hidden, my face still burning a little bit. Yes, I think this will be the perfect place to spend some time. Suddenly, there's a much louder boom than the one I caused as thunder rumbles outside. A few people around the library startle at the sound and look around. Sighing, the girl in the chair pulls the window beside her closed, the first drops of rain falling not a minute later. I'll investigate the windows later. Right now I don't want to bother her, so I head back to one of the plush chairs on the other side of the library and take a seat. I could be here a while, depending on how long the rain lasts, so I might as well get comfy. Find a few books that have more pictures than words and curl up in one of the soft chairs to flip through them. There aren't as many of those ones, and I go through the stack pretty fast. It takes long enough for the rain to start, though. The longer I read, the louder the pounding of the rain and the howling of the wind become. Guess it's not letting up anytime soon. Can't complain though, this library is pretty cozy. By my usual standards, it's warm, safe, and no one tells me to go away. I even have snacks. More than once, I get up and walk around the library again, even though I've got most of it memorized by now. I take note of things like a child's stuffed toy that's lying on the floor in one section, or the thin blanket that's stuffed between a bookshelf and the wall. On my third or fourth trip around, I finally found something I've been looking for. In one of the far corners, totally opposite from where I saw the reading girl earlier, is a single chair and small table. On the wall nearby is a portrait, the painting itself, of a girl with light brown hair, but I barely pay any attention to that. What I'm interested in is in the frame. It's lovely. It looks like it might be made out of gold. It certainly shines like it. It's carved intricately into the shapes of waves flowing up and down. It's gotta be worth something. I pretend not to pay much attention to it as I make my way back to my table. There are too many other people around me for me to try and sneak it out. It's too big to fit under my jacket without being too obvious. It just means I'll have to come back some other time, maybe once this place is closed. The hours pass by and the storm continues. I'm kind of disappointed about losing a whole day, especially so soon after arriving, but it's not like I'm in any sort of a hurry. I pat one of my pockets, feeling the familiar and reassuring weight of the paper scroll that's tucked away in there. A scroll is the only thing close to a purpose that I have, and it's not particularly urgent, or at least I don't have any way to deal with it faster. I spend a long time reading. It's almost afternoon when I go and check the windows again, but the rough weather outside continues. At this rate, I'll be sleeping in a puddle of mud tonight. Unless... A quick check shows that a lot of the other library patrons have left. It's not empty, but it's not nearly as full as earlier. Guess some of them decided it was worth braving the rain. Looking as nonchalant as I can, I get up from my seat and pretend to browse again, slowly moving through the shelves. The reading girl is gone now, although she's not what I was looking for. Instead, I pick up the dropped toy and blanket that I spotted earlier, and then head to one of the out-of-the-way hiding spots I picked up before. It's on the floor, between a shelf and the wall, but it has a bit of a carpet to help make it softer. Even better, it's between two corner shelves, meaning it's practically out of sight if you're not looking for it. I wriggle my way between the furniture and lie down. Using the toy as a pillow and draping the blanket over me, I toss and turn a few times before finally settling down.
Yep, not bad at all.
I sleep in the corner.
Even though I haven't done much today, I'm always down to take a nap. I can pass a few hours by sleeping, wake up once it's dark, and then grab that picture frame and be on my way. I'll have to rebuild my den once I get back, but that's a problem for future me. I yawned, staring up the ceiling until my eyes got heavy.
Maybe today won't be a total waste after all.
Mimi.
Oh. A soft sound of cloth rustling wakes me from a dreamless sleep. How did someone sneak up on me twice now? I don't know how long it's been. The sky outside has darkened significantly, and now stars twinkle outside the window. There's no time to react as the sound comes closer. I hear no footsteps, but suddenly, a woman steps into view. Her clothes are pure white, making her stand out like a ghost in the dark library. Her cape rustles again as she reaches towards one of the shelves. One of the shelves I'm hiding behind, to be precise. Gingerly, she moves two books at a side and slides another book into the space she's created. She handles them like precious treasures that might break if she's too rough. I stay perfectly still, afraid to even breathe in case she notices me. Excuse me.
Pretty girl, pretty lady.
My heart beats wildly as she slowly and deliberately looks over the shelf, examining their titles before taking a book from the second lowest row. Through the gap she creates in the shelves, our eyes met in the darkness. Ooh. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
I tense up as she steps around the shelving between us. Oh shoot. Oh no. Did I press some auto mode? Wait, I must have pressed some auto mode by accident. Let me see. Skips dialogue. Oh, okay. I can roll back to an earlier dialogue. I should do that. Oh.
Oh no.
There it is. Okay. I tense up as she steps around the shelving between us to get a better look at me. Preparing myself to leap away if the need arises, the carefully memorized layout of the library flashes through my mind as I frantically plot the best way to flee. Even as I prepare my escape, I can see her taking in everything about me. The stolen blanket, the makeshift pillow, my generally disheveled appearance. She opens her mouth, and I brace myself for the verbal attack that's sure to come.
Hello there. May I ask why you're sleeping on the floor?
Flaw. It doesn't matter what I say. Just distract her enough to get away.
I don't have anywhere else to sleep.
I thought so.
She leaves. I'm a hobo. I thought so. She leans down and offers me a hand. I look at it warily. I don't take it, but I slowly stand, letting the blanket fall to my feet, trying to subtly get in position to run.
Well, I have an extra room on the second floor that you're welcome to borrow, if you'd prefer that. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to remain here, on the ground. I apologize for waking you.
She gives me room. With a smile, the oddly calm woman steps away and busies herself organizing another row of books. She probably expects me to let my guard down and take her offer. Hand holding in 2025? Oh, I didn't hold her hand. She offered, and I didn't take it because I'm not that easy. I'm just a stranger. Someone who broke into her library. There's no reason for her to treat me kindly. My years of experience, there are plenty of those, tell me it's a trap.
Thanks, but no thanks. I'll just be going, actually. Sorry to bother you like this.
Why is she so awkward? I gotta play hide to get.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm awkward, leave.
I hurry past her, shoulders tense as I expect her to grab me or try to stop me. She doesn't though. The one time I glance back, she's watching me with a strange expression that I don't recognize. When I get outside and away from the library, I breathe a sigh of relief.
Whew, that was close. I'm not falling for that one again.
Last time I let someone feel sorry for me and accepted a place to stay, I walked up to them trying to empty my wallet. I may be a thief, but at least I do it honestly. I wouldn't try to trick someone like that. That wasn't the first time someone tried to fool me and take advantage of me either.
Still, it's a shame to lose such a nice hiding place. Maybe I'll give it a couple of days for that woman to forget about me, and then try again. If she wasn't lying about there being an empty room on the second floor, then maybe I could sneak into
The logic.
there.
Yeah, that logic, that makes sense.
Tonight, though, I'm on my own. Shivering, I wrap my coat and tail tightly around myself, and I think about what to do next. The rain has stopped, although it's still cold and cloudy. My stomach grumbles, since I haven't eaten anything other than snacks all day.
Ugh.
May as well get it over with and check out on the status of my den.
Well, it could be worse.
It's not as bad as I expected, which is a pleasant surprise.
What's a little mine? It'll be just fine.
Muddy puppy.
Her theory has video game mechanics. It does feel like that. Yeah, she has a thing. Yeah, she says that nobody remembers her. Basically, even if she gets caught, like people find, quote, gets caught, like people see her, as long as she, like, the next day, they forget. They'll remember something's been stolen by somebody, but they don't remember who or her face or anything, So it is a very helpful thing to her. That's what she said. I swapped my fox form to prod around. The entrance is caved in a little, but after I scoop that out, I find that the rest of the tunnels and main room are relatively intact. Cold as hell, but intact. Seems the trees protected the den from a lot of the rain. Takes me a while to find the spot where I buried my stash, since the sticks I used to mark the spot got washed away. Eventually I locate it, though, and start digging. She's a fox? Yes, she is a fox girl. She can transform into fox and to person. Yes. Eventually I locate it, though, and start digging. The cold mud makes my paws dirty and sore, and little flecks cover my fur. After I finally reach the soggy plastic bags, I shake them myself clean before opening them as a human. Some water has seeped through, and I opened the spoiled items before tossing them away. I'm not too picky, but I have plenty of other snacks to choose from.
Eat up, birdies.
Oh, wait. By the way, I need to check a thing. Is there what is the auto button? There isn't an auto button. There is no auto button? I thought I accidentally pressed the auto button. That's why, you know. I don't see an auto button, so I think maybe there isn't one. A few of them swooped down to inspect the offering. I scarfed down a quick meal of cookies and unwarmed soup, along with some cold water from the stream. At least the water is satisfying. Oops. Then, even though I just woke up from my nap not too long ago, I shift back into my fox form to crawl into my den and curl up. I'm sure it'll be a while before I fall asleep, but I don't feel like going back into town. I've had enough excitement for one day. Ah! Am I just learning about the buttons again? Dialogue skip, hides user interface, toggles dialogue skipping, rolls back dialogue. I feel like I've been accidentally pressing. Okay, there it is. I think this is what it is. Okay. There it is. Okay, then I think I fixed it. I'm sure it'll be a while before I fall asleep, but I don't feel like I've going back into town. I've had enough excitement for one day. This isn't all that bad. Regular foxes without magic powers have it way worse than I do. Although back when a fox was all I was, I really wouldn't have cared. To this day, I'm not sure what it is that makes me different. I used to be just like them. No desire to go beyond the forest or anything. And then one day, I became whatever I am now. Being able to go back over dialogue, I know it is. It's so helpful. All I had was my necklace, a small scroll that I can't read, and the memory of the person who had given it to me. They were so kind to me, a stranger in the forest. They wished me well, even though I was just an ordinary fox. Yeah, the opening part. I remember that. Let me give a good lie down. I can get comfy in my bed too. There we go. Comfy. Somehow that didn't matter to them. I never even knew their name, just their face and their voice. But I know I'll recognize them when I see them again. It's just a matter of finding them. So since then, I've been looking and surviving. Looking for them is what keeps me going. Oh, stretch, I shall, thank you. Looking for them is what keeps me going. It's enough to live for. If I wasn't, I don't know what else I'd be doing. Thank you for stretchies. I guess I'd just be surviving, but if that was the only thing, I think I'd rather stay a fox. Standing outside my den in human form, I take stock of how things stand. The sun's thankfully out this morning, but everything remains damp, from the ground to the muggy air itself. The chill in the breeze is the worst, making me shiver every time it hits me. The Bell House was pleasant when I visited a couple of days ago, so I decided to head down towards the main street and get a coffee there while working out my next moves. Hello, hi. Welcome. Wait, you weren't here before today? Welcome. We're playing a very chill and relaxing visual novel game. Yes. Monster Girls is true. It's true. Monster Girls and relaxing Awua reading you out stuff. Coming to the door of the cafe, I pause and wipe my feet on the mat outside. The human fascination of surroundings themselves in concrete makes a little more sense as I work the mud off my feet. With that, I finally head inside, only to stop in my tracks as the door shuts behind me. Standing behind the counter is the same girl who I saw reading in the library yesterday, talking with a customer as she takes their order. That gentle aura about her is unmistakable. PCs on the fritz are having to do everything from your phone, including work. No, it's terrible! Like, I can get enjoying stuff from your phone, but having to do work on your phone... Yikes. Please enjoy the beautiful girl. This is a beautiful game called Please Be Happy. It's very sweet. Very slice of life. Eerie. Many monster girls too. You know, the person in front of me finishes their order and I step up to the counter.
Good morning. Welcome to the Bell House. What can I make for you today? Oh, hi. I'll have...
A vanilla latte? No, that's boring.
What do you recommend? I want to try something new. I'm glad you asked. I was just thinking that you look like the sort of person who would enjoy one of our fairy kiss chillers.
What's a fairy kiss chiller? That seems like a bit too scary to get at a cafe.
It's one of our signature drinks, with a vanilla gelato base and a mint chocolate chip swirl.
Nah, it's okay. Mint chocolate chip? Nah thanks, bruh. Nah thanks. I was planning to get something warm, but that does sound pretty good.
Okay, give me one of those then.
That'll be, $50.
Perfect. And could I get your name, please? It's Miho.
She scribbles something onto a cup and finishes it with a big flourish.
I'll have that right out for you. Thanks.
I pay and then go take the same seat as before, next to one of the windows. It's pretty empty in here again, so I can sit wherever I want. Before the barista starts making my drink, I spot her writing something else down in her little notebook. She glances my way once or twice while she does, but I pretend not to notice. I wonder what it is. The barista yesterday didn't write anything down. Anyway, I've got more important things on my mind. I mull over the plan which formed as I walked here, becoming increasingly happy with it. Today I've already decided I'm going to sneak back into that library. Between that picture frame and some of the other trinkets I saw, I should be able to pilfer enough to fund my next few days in Wellington. Finding somewhere to sell it should be the easy part. I've got a dozen excuses that I can recite about where I got the items from. Dead grandma, spring cleaning, new renovations. Sometimes I try extra hard and pretend that the things I'm selling are really special to me and earn a bit more cash that way. Sometimes I just take whatever they give me. After years of watching other humans do it and getting it out myself, trying it out myself, I've gotten good at pawning items off. I'm actually really good at Pawn Stars. Have you seen that show? She's so good at Pawn Stars. I find myself idly watching the barista make my drink. While I do, I practice a disarming smile. All of her movements are quick and practiced, but she has that same faraway look in her eyes that I noticed yesterday. She looks up and our eyes meet. I don't look away, and she turns pink before ducking behind the machine, out of sight.
Huh. Weird girl.
I turn my head around to look around the cafe, and a butterfly outside catches my attention, so I watch that instead. It flutters back and forth, landing in a flower and resting its wings. Best I can do for this rare painting is some pocket lint and a paper clip. I don't know anything about 16th century painting, so I'm gonna have to call my friend and he's an expert. Luckily he's in town for an expo on ancient paintings. This is my ancient This is Bob. My name's Bob Eisenbaber. I'm an expert in 15th century and 16th century ancient paintings. This here is it looks like a genuine Count Ducan. A genuine Count Ducan. If you look at the edges of this painting, you can see that it's not very clean, but that's what we want with a genuine Count Ducan. And if you flip to the back, so most amateurs would have the signature of the painter at the back here, but Count Duke and Originals never have any signature. So instead, we're looking for is right here in this top left corner, there is a print, there is a press, a mark. This is the mark of the painter back then. He didn't sign his works, he used this print. So this is a genuine Dukenberg painting. Yeah, how much is it worth on the market? It's worth about $65,000 to the right buyers. Oh, I see. So $65,000. How much you want for this? I'm looking for $50,000. Best I can do is about 3 hot dogs and a year membership to Costco. Yeah, I'll take it. It's okay. Let's get back to the actual thing. That was such a stupid story. That was such a stupid thing. Anyways.
Miho!
Oh, my coffee's ready. Yeah. I was just imagining myself in a Pawn Star scenario. It's pretty crazy. I'm glad I pay attention now. It's so accurate, crying. Maybe it should be like long. It's probably too long to be like short clips. It has to have a big long clip. You know what I mean? Long clip for posterity. You know what I mean? I'll just mark it then. What is the button? There is a button to mark things. Is it this one? Is that clip that? No. What does this button do? I don't know what that is, but something's been done. Maybe I'll use it. I thought there was like a button to like press to mark about stuff to clip. Doesn't matter. Because I think that spiel went a little bit too long. 20 in PP clip. Dang. Okay, my coffee is ready. I quickly get up and skip over the counter. Cup in hand, she starts to head over and give it to me. But then several things happen at once. Oh no! One of the little tassels in the pocket of her apron catches on one of the drawers behind the counter, and she jerks to a stop, eyes wide with surprise. Oh. And my drink tumbles out of her hand, landing on the counter with a wet gloop sound as the ice cream splats against it, sending mint green rivers of coffee everywhere. A few seconds pass where we just look at each other. Neither of us quite sure what to do, and she takes a deep breath.
I am so sorry. I'll make you a replacement right away. Just give me 1 second and I'll have that ready for you.
Her words spill out faster than the beverage, making it hard to even understand what she's saying. Her face is bright red as she spins back around and grabs another empty cup. Then she stops, hands hovering awkwardly.
Wait, I should clean this up before it dries and starts to go bad.
Oh no, she hurries back to the mess, wiping at it with some napkins. Oh no. She mops up as much of it as she can with one hand, then leaves the soggy paper on the counter while she starts to remake my drink. I think...
I'm really sorry. This is such an embarrassment. I
don't even know if she's talking to me or to herself. I freeze up for a second, looking for an appropriate response to an apology. I'm not used to people apologizing to me.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not in a hurry.
Instead, I sit back down at one of the tables and watch. She makes the drinks twice as fast, and then carries it very slowly to the counter, setting it down in a clean spot. This time, she takes a deep breath before speaking, like she's afraid she's going to mess that up too.
All right. Here's your drink. Again. I'm very sorry. Oh, this is your first time here, isn't it? I hope it doesn't leave a bad impression.
Please don't leave a bad Google review. Please. You post the bullet time. I've sent the clip in Discord. Thank you. That'd be helpful. I did press the clip button maybe clip that button for myself, so maybe it does do some markings for myself. Who knows?
Second.
But thank you.
Actually, yesterday was the first time.
No tips for me.
How'd you know?
No tips for her.
I make an effort to remember as
It's
many
okay.
of our customers
This is
as I
New
can,
Zealand,
as well as their favorite orders.
so because this place is fantasy New Zealand, they don't have tips in fantasy New Zealand either. So she wouldn't have to worry about tips or no tips. She only has to worry about a bad Google review. That's a nice girl, by the way, to remember the favorite orders.
I believe you can learn a lot about a person from how they drink their coffee.
Well, that's too bad for her because she won't remember me at all next time. I take a big sip of the drink she had made for me. It's creamy and rich and sweet all at the same time. Oop. Oop.
Whoa, this is really good.
Wow, very yummy. Ah. Okay, wait, I need to reset the... That's why I knew it. My stream did a bit of a weird thing. Give me a second. There we go. Brant, brant. There we go. It's fixed now.
Kind of like a milkshake, but not. But it's not like coffee either.
It's a frappuccino, girl. Is this the barista have other customers? Well, it's a quiet. I think Miho said it was quiet. So I think it's not many customers in the store, so probably not.
Yes, exactly. I'm very glad that you like it. It's one of my favorite beverages that we serve. In fact, the recipe was my idea.
Wow.
Whoa! They should put you in charge of all the recipes.
She smiles again. Seems like she's gotten over the crisis of the spilled drink already.
Thank you. I'll make you another one of my favorites next time, if you'd like.
Totally.
At least I know what to order next time. Even though I'll have been forgotten, I'm already thinking of this place as my go-to coffee shop, especially since it's in a convenient area. With tasty drinks and a cute baristas, I don't have a reason to go anywhere else. A knocking sound from the employee here gets both of our attention.
Hey, Aspen, can you set another batch of croissants?
Oh, sure. I'll be right there.
She calls back over her shoulder and then looks back at me briefly.
Have a nice day, Miho.
You too.
With a wave, she gathers the trash from the cleanup and throws that away before disappearing into the back. So her name is Aspen. That's a pretty name. I'll have to try and remember that. Getting up from my seat, I decide to head back outside for some fresh air. Sipping my fairy kiss chiller as I go, I head out the door and onto the increasingly busy main street. Aspen. I already know my plans for tonight, but I've still got some time to kill before then. What should I do? I get to pick! That means I get to save for the first time. First save of the game. Ooh. I can pick what to do, guys. Oh. Look at that. Okay, so there's ooh. So there's Oriental Bay, Mount Victoria, the Den, and there is Cuba Street. Looks like there is a book thing in Mount Vic. There's two things in Mount Victoria and then one in Oriental Bay. Wow, map. Where should I go? Where should I go, guys? I think we should go with one of the character portraits there, right? It does have the time thing. I wonder if the others don't have a time thing. I can't go to the library yet. Oriental Bay. I'm thinking Oriental Bay too. I want to test something really quick. I'm going to reload to see if I click then. Not that much else to do with... oh. Because there's one thing I've noticed about these choices is that... I guess it's fine. Maybe it's because it's special. Because these with people, the ones with people, they'll have like a little clock on it. So okay, we'll pick Oriental Bay. I want to pick Oriental Bay too anyways. Let's do that. What is Oriental Bay? It's not far from where I am to the beach, so I decided to head down there. Passing through the city streets, I recognized some of this area from my first day here, when I was running from the Skyport guard.
Whew. Glad that guard chased me in this direction, or I'd have never found the Bell House.
And really, that's been the highlight of Wellington so far. When I get down to the beach, I take a moment to enjoy the salty sea air. From this level, it's impossible to tell where the ocean ends and where the open sky begins. I can see the Skyport from where I am, with a few older ships anchored in the harbor close by. While admiring the view, a worried-looking lady comes up and waves for my attention.
Hi, I'm looking for my son. He's about this tall and wearing a red sweater. His name's Tommy. Have you seen him?
Oh no, a missing child!
Nope. I haven't seen anyone like that. I just got here.
Okay, thanks.
She walks away in a hurry, looking right and left as she goes to ask someone else.
Humans sure do have it rough.
Since they can't smell or even hear most things, it's a wonder they don't get lost more often. I amble along the waterfront, watching all the people as I go. Like Cuba Street, there's a lot going on. Under a nearby bridge, a group of 3 mermaids are racing each other. Close to the bridge are a bunch of people fishing, with a stressed-looking guy running back and forth between them. Next to a boarded-up market stall and some big crates, I notice something weird. There's a fabled with a big flower on their head that spins like a propeller, using it to drift in a small circle above something near the crates. What the fuck's that? A creature! Look at this creature! Look at it! Hello? I have to check it out, of course. Nobody else pays any attention. Eat it! Hello, 094F. Welcome, welcome. We're playing a very relaxing visual novel tonight. You know, please be happy. Very chill. It's modern fantasy kind of a thing. We're a fox girl. Very, very pretty. Look! There we are! Aren't we cute? I wander over and take a look. The fabled stops spinning as I approach and gives me a helpless look, but doesn't say anything. This is not metaphor. This okay. Yuri, let's go! Man, I love women. That's the whole thing. On the other side of the crates, out of sight from the path, there's a little boy sitting on the ground, with his back to one of the wooden boxes.
Are you Tommy?
The kid jumps, totally surprised. Oops. He scrambles up and looks at me with wide eyes.
How'd you know? Your mom's looking for you. She seemed pretty worried.
His expression goes from surprise to sullen really quick.
I don't care. I don't want to go with you.
What did she do, kid?
Why not? Why are you over here instead?
'Cause I'm hiding.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a pretty crummy hiding spot. I mean, it's totally open on 3 sides. I don't say that, though. Instead, I look at the fabled floating overhead. It looks almost as glum as Tommy.
Who's that?
That's Jerby! You mean you can see him?
I can. Is that weird?
Mom and Dad can't see him. They think I'm just making him up. He doesn't talk, but he's real.
Jerby waves from up high.
He kinda gave away your hiding spot. I saw him from the road.
Mom can't see him, and that's all that matters.
Why are you hiding from her?
'Cause...
Tommy sits back down and scratches at the dirt with a rock. Guess he doesn't want to talk about it. I'm always glad to end a conversation.
Well, good luck.
Leaves. I start to walk away. He doesn't seem like he's in any danger, and I don't want to get blamed for him hiding in the first place.
Hey, wait a minute.
I turn around. He's already standing up again.
Are you gonna go tell her where I am?
Before I can answer, his eyes get huge again.
Tommy, there you are.
I mean, I didn't have to. I have to turn around again. This time it's the woman from before. She's already flying past me over to Tommy.
Are you okay? What were you doing? Don't you ever run off like that again. Ugh, I'm just glad you're safe, though.
Her voice goes up and down between relieved and angry. She has Tommy in a tight hug, but he's just staring forward, grumpily. Jerby is flying in distressed circles again. Finally, the lady turns to me.
You found him, right? Thank you so much. I was so worried.
No problem.
It's literally not a problem. I didn't try. I really didn't do anything. I did find him, but so did she. Guess she's not thinking about it much.
Come on, Tommy. Let's go home. We'll talk about this there.
No, I'm not going. That's not home.
What? Is he Daijobu? Is his parents? Is your mom divorced and that's what the new house? Huh? It's the common set. It's not my home. My ears flinch as he yells. He stamps his foot on the ground to make a point.
Tommy, sweetie.
Home is where it's you, me, and Dad, not that apartment.
That's still your home too, but this, it's like your second home now.
No, it isn't. Not without you, it's not.
Oh?
Do you and Dad really have to get it?
Oh. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, so it's not where his mom is, and he's upset about that. Oh no. Oh no. Divorced parents. Tommy, who was already sniffling, can't keep from breaking down and crying as he throws his arms around his mom and hugs her back.
I don't want you to go.
Oh. I get the impression that I should probably leave. Normally I'm happy to be nosy and listen in on things, but right now it seems kind of awkward. Neither of the humans notice me leave, but Jerby the Fabled sadly waves goodbye as I head off. I wonder what makes him stick around. I've never seen a Fabled like him before. Not being able to be seen by certain people sure sounds useful though. I don't have to go far before the sounds of Tommy and his mom talking are drowned out by the noise of the waterfront. I easily fit into the crowd of people milling about. Being able to live a life that no one notices is close enough to being invisible. I'm pretty lucky that I don't ever have those kinds of tearful conversations or panic about someone missing. No, being part of a crowd is just perfect for me. I stand at the concrete and admire the ocean till I've had my fill, and then start wandering again. Oh, another one. I guess they just make you go through both of them. Very nice. Okay, Mount Victoria time. I have plenty of time to kill, and also plenty of restless energy. I decide to go for a walk up Mount Victoria, just to give myself something to do. I take the long way up this time, instead of taking a bunch of shortcuts like usual. It winds through the neighborhoods, and then back out again, with only the occasional car passing on the street. Compared to some of the other cities I've been in lately, the air here is a lot cleaner, and the smell of nature shines through. It can't compare to being out in the wild for real, of course, but it's nice to not be choking on exhaust fumes everywhere I go. The houses are weird though. Many of them sit up on tall legs like giant bugs with windows for eyes. More people seem to be coming down on the mountain than going up it. A lot of them zip past on bikes or skateboards, while others are just jogging or walking.
This path is longer than I thought.
About halfway up or so, there's a wooden bench just off the sidewalk. It's occupied by a man with dark hair and big sunglasses. As I'm about to pass by, he waves.
Well, hello, miss. Nice evening for a walk, eh?
Huh? Is he talking to me? He must be, because there's no one else nearby. Chatting is usually not my thing, but for the moment, I appreciate the distraction.
It sure is. I'm glad the rain's gone.
Oh, for now, yeah. It's never gone for long, though, is it?
That's so. I'm new here. I didn't even think it would rain since it was so sunny the day before.
Ho ho ho! You've gotta watch out for that around here. Mother Nature's real fickle these days. 1 minute you're on the pier, enjoying the sunshine. Next minute, whoosh!
He makes a whoosh sound with his breath and a waving motion with his hand.
Storm clouds, as far as the eye can see. That's just welly for you, though. You live with the sunshine and the clouds. Where are you from, then? Guessing you're not a kiwi?
Nah, I'm a fox, not a bird.
See? He's a fox, not a bird. The man laughs, a deep belly laugh, like usual. I'm not sure what I said was funny.
Not like that. Although those
Kiwi.
guys are cute. A kiwi is a word for us New Zealanders in general.
So it's a bird, a fruit, and people.
Apparently, yes. Yes.
You got it. All three are delightful. Anyway, welcome to Wellington. I hope you're enjoying your time.
He ain't even New Zealander. How do you know?
So far I am. I made my den here on the mountain. I've gotten coffee a few times, and I went to the library.
I conveniently leave out my plans for the next time I'm in the library. I can hear the American. Maybe he moved, okay?
Can't say that's the usual tourist experience, but I'm happy to hear that it's working out for you. Staying long?
Probably. I decided to come live here, but I'm still getting to know the place. So, maybe I'll change my mind.
A true free spirit, eh? I felt the same way when I first got here, long time ago.
He was here a long time ago, so that's okay. Don't be so judgmental, Julius.
Didn't think I settled down for life, but here I am now. Lived more years here than everywhere else in my life.
It can't be that long. You don't look very old for a human.
No? Well, that's my ego boost for the day. You don't look very old for a fox either, but I imagine you've got a good head start on me.
That's true. I don't really keep track or think about it, though.
He laughs again.
Can't say I blame you there. I think 100 years, give or take a little on either side, is enough for me. And I'm only halfway there, so I've got plenty more to look forward to.
He stands up, but has to do it slowly.
And sometimes I'm reminded of how many I've got under my belt already. Thank you for the chat, miss. I better get back to the water now and make sure Young Min hasn't fallen into the ocean or anything. It's been a real pleasure talking with you, though. I hope you'll give our fair town a shot.
Wow.
Thanks. It was nice talking to you, too.
And I mean that for once. He waves goodbye as he heads down some stone steps, and I keep heading upwards. Never really thought about my age compared to humans. Humans don't matter to my lifestyle. Ish. Sit up straight. Sit up a bit better. So I was lying down a little bit just now. I wasn't lying when I said that I don't know how old I am. It's never been important. Places, relationship, memories, they just tie people down. I want to be everywhere. When I reach the top of the mountain, I take a deep breath of the crisp air. Wind blows my hair in every direction and I can't keep it out of my face. The wind is wild and it goes where it wants. It doesn't answer to anyone. That's how I've lived my life too. A free spirit, that's what the man called me. I like the sound of it. I can see the smudges of a few people down by the beach and on the pier. Is one of them the man I just met? There's no way to know. From up here, there's tiny little blips, impossible to tell apart from each other. Once I've had my fill of the view, it's time to get on the way again.
I turn my back on the people and start making my way down once more. Library time. I think I can go to the other places too. It looks like I'm allowed to go to the other places, but maybe it's the ones that those few that I had to visit was like a requirement, you know what I mean? You know what? Let's go to Cuba Street too. Cuba Street. They say the perp always returns to the scene of the crime, so I head back to the main street. By the looks of it, the store I swipe from is the same as always. The person sweeping the front of the store doesn't even seem a bit stressed. Understated enough for it to be noticeable, but always a point of pride when the place looks the same as always the next day. A smug smile creeps on my face as I pass by, snacking on a chocolate bar I took from their shelves. Oh, hydrate, I shall, thank you. I have lots of juice. Also, it's a really short one. It's like probably not required kind of thing, but let's see the den. Without much else to do to pass the time, I head back to my den. It's not the best place to hang around, honestly, but it's comfortable enough. Looking around the small area, I shift back into my usual form. If I have to kill some time, it might as well have fun while I'm at it. A couple hours later, I've happily had my fill of chasing butterflies and snacking on mushrooms. Okay, time to get back to it. Library time. When the moon is high in the sky, I decide it's time. This is the perfect kind of night for me. There's not much wind, meaning I'll be able to hear or smell anyone approaching. It's a little cloudy too, which gives me some cover from the moonlight. I make my way up to the library, stopping as soon as I'm within sight of it. I find a shadowy place to hide and watch them in front for a few minutes. Like I hoped, nobody goes in or out. All the windows are dark too. I slowly creep up towards the entrance, ready to transform and flee if I have to. Nothing happens. No one tries to stop me. I peek into one of the windows. It's dark inside, and I can't see anyone at all. Perfect. I move around to the back side of the building and check on those windows too. Same thing. It's dark and empty.
This is gonna be too easy.
Back at the front door, I pick the lock and slip and slide. I sneak from room to room, revisiting the items I memorized yesterday. They're not expensive or fancy enough to think of them as treasures. I end up leaving a lot of them alone since I don't want to carry too much with me. The rest of them go into my coat pockets. Finally, I end up back at the painting in the corner, the piece that started this whole plan. I have to set a couple of things down on the floor because the painting needs both hands for me to lift it. It's heavier than it looks, though it's not very big. That's probably a good sign for how much this is worth. It's like she's a phantom thief, but a real thief. Plucking it off. I have to jiggle it a couple of times to get it off the hook, but I manage. Tucking the painting under one arm, I pick up the other goods from the floor. This should be enough for one night. Best to get in and out quick. I start to head back for the front door where I came in. Before I get there, light floods the room. Uh-oh, my heart starts to race as I immediately prepare to run. A quick glance over his shoulder shows the woman from last night standing at the top of the stairs. Her eyes are glowing blue with anger. She takes a step forward, not seeming to touch the stairs.
Leave that painting alone!
I've got to get out of here now. Throwing caution to the wind, I clutch my spoils tight and charge for the door, trying to make myself as small a target as possible. The painting is too big for me to transform and still hold on to it, so I've got to do this on two legs.
Stop! Please!
I don't stop. Just like my arrival here with the guards at the skyport, the thrill of being chased has already taken over. It's exciting and scary at the same time, but either way it spurs me to move faster. Oh no! It's valuable painting! But in a sentimental way, isn't it? Oh no. Using my shoulder, I crash out the front door into the night. I run as quickly as I can, keeping an eye out for the patches of slick mud or puddles of water. The path I
I take goes far past Mount Victoria and my den, ending up in a small residential area. I stash the painting under a parked car and then take my fox form and crawl under a house, upsetting a mean gray cat who was already hiding there. It makes a low, growling noise and I stare at it. Desperately willing it to be silent before it gives away my position, I growl back as best as I can, and that seems to scare it into shutting up. I'm not sure if I was being followed or not, but I don't want to take my chances. After 10 minutes or so, I climb out, pick up my loot, and sneak back towards my den. Now that the excitement has worn off, I just can't keep a smile off my face. There's nothing more satisfying than pulling off a heist, even one as easy as this. Other thieves I've heard about must have it rough, having to stake out a place for a long time, trying really hard not to get caught, and making sure not to be seen. I've never done much planning. I just do whatever feels right. My ability to transform makes it pretty hard to catch me, although I have had to leave behind the stuff I was taking once or twice. And honestly, it would get boring if I never got caught and had to run. My good mood lasts me all the way home, and then disappears completely when I see who's waiting for me. The woman in white. She stands just outside my den, looking like she doesn't care at all about the cold or the mud. In fact, her perfect clothes don't seem to get dirty at all. With her back turned to me, she's staring up at the moon. But she faces me as I approach. She has that same calm presence as when I first saw her, but I can see a mournful look in her eyes, which have gone back to the brown instead of the furious blue. My heart quickens, almost suffocatingly, as she watches me intently. I know how quickly calm can turn to anger. I should run, but I can't look away.
How did you find me here? Before I even got back?
A friend of mine told me you might be found here.
Her voice is soft and warm, unlike the way she shouted back at the library.
A friend.
But who? I wasn't followed, I'm sure of that. The shock of being found wearing off, the realization I'll need to find a new place to stay sets in. After all that work, too.
I apologize for showing up uninvited. I'm here to ask that you please return that painting to me. You may keep the frame, if you like. But the painting itself is very dear to me.
See, it's very sentimental. I look down at the portrait. I've been carrying it for a while now. But I haven't given the picture itself, much thought. It's a beautiful painting, clearly very old. The girl shown in it is wearing a long flowing dress, looking down with a small smile.
And also...
She breathes out slowly, and my eyes narrow. It's a sound when people make when they're acting calm, but they're actually angry.
Should you want it, I have an extra room available in my library, with a soft bed and a warm meal. You may stay as long as you wish.
Huh?
After I just tried to rob her, she's offering me a place to stay? Twice? Second time? Kind of wild. Okay, now I know this must be a trap. There's no way. Although, it's the same thing she asked me last night before I broke in. I'm sure she doesn't remember that.
Why?
Because I have more beds than I could possibly fill, and more food than I could eat.
Sus, true.
If there is someone who wants or needs them, is it not appropriate to share these with them?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure what answer she wants to hear. She looks at me again, the same expression as it was at the library. Well, her offer does sound kind of tempting.
I guess it's not like my place is as nice as yours.
Not anymore, at least. Not after it rained and made half of it mud. I looked down at the painting again. If I sold it, it was just going to be so I could buy the same thing she's offering me. I still don't trust her. I've watched people enough to know better than that. There must be something she wants. But I don't think she wants to hurt me. She knows I don't have anything that's worth stealing. If she had to try to pull something, I could just run away. It's only one night. I can come back again, try again, or find someplace else to take from. I look down to the burrow past where she's standing. It looks less a den and more a pile of mud. The thoughts of sleeping there again practically makes the decision for me.
Fine, I'll take it.
She breathes out again slowly and smiles. Maybe that sound doesn't mean she's angry?
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
That one. It is interesting that she's offering me. What's the reason she would offer me a place to stay?
I should introduce myself properly. My name is Juliet.
Juliet.
May I ask what yours is?
Miho.
I've had to introduce myself twice in a day now. This has to be a new record.
Well, Miho, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Let's return to the library. I can carry the painting if you'd like, or you may hold on to it until we get there.
I shrug.
Here, feel free.
She receives it very gently, and I quickly fall in beside her as we begin to walk back. To my relief, she doesn't try to make any conversation. Instead, she silently cradles the painting as we go. When we go back to the library, the lights are off and the door is still unlocked. After setting the painting down on the desk, Juliet gestures towards the stairs.
It's on the second floor.
I follow her lead again until she stops at one of the closed doors. She unlocks it and lets me in. The room is simple and cozy, with a couple dressers, a table, and a bed. Over the bed, there's a boxy window with a wide sill, big enough to sit on. On the table, there is cheese sandwich. Cheese sandwich. And a few apple slices, plus some sort of cake. There's also a pitcher of water.
I hope the food is to your liking. 2 rooms down the hall from here, you'll find a refrigerator, and you may help yourself to anything in there. My study is just past that. If you need anything, don't hesitate to come
It is a
find
little
me.
sus.
Is there anything more I can bring for you?
It is sus. Why are you sussy? I shake my head, still in disbelief. What am I supposed to say in a situation like this? I just stole from her. Now I have both a bed and food in return. As if to answer my confusion, she gives a calm smile. Doesn't help.
Then I'll leave you to it. We can speak again in the morning. Good night, Miho.
This door shuts behind her, and I expect to hear Juliet lock it. But when I try the knob after giving her a few moments, the door opens quietly into the dark hall. Juliet's nowhere to be seen. I pull the door back shut behind me and inspect the room, looking for any hidden threats. I also check the food, sniffing it to make sure there's no poison or anything. If there is, I can't smell it, and so I dig in instead.
Whoa. This is really good.
The best cheese sandwich ever.
There's 3 different kinds of cheese. There's 3 different kinds of cheese in the sandwich. It's a lot. There's 3 different kinds of cheese in the sandwich, which is 2 more kinds than I knew existed. Wow. The bread is soft and buttery, and when I take a bite of the apple, juice rolls down my chin. Untoasted bread, though, I don't know. I will give minus points of that. But Miho has never had toasted bread, probably. She's never had toast, so she doesn't know what she's missing out, right? The water that I wash it down with tastes better than the water from the stream by my den. When I'm done eating, I climb into the bed, still feeling overwhelmed. I'm sleepy. More specifically, not knowing how to feel. Part of me fears that I've made some gigantic mistake, and that I'll wake up in danger, if I ever wake up at all. Trusting my instincts has kept me alive on multiple occasions, and for hundreds of years. Enough that I've lost count of exactly how many. But something tells me that I don't have anything to fear from the woman who I can only assume is my host, and the owner of this place. So with that in mind, I pull the blankets to my chin and adjust the luxurious pillows beneath my head. Who knows, maybe the morning will bring trouble with it. But right now, just sleeping sounds alright. I wake up to the sound of birds chirping loudly outside. Blinking wearily, I prop myself up and look towards the warm sunlight, beaming through the window. Sheets under my hand feel soft and dry.
My hand goes to my neck, taking the smooth familiarity of my necklace.
It's still here.
If someone was going to rob me, that's the only thing I would have that would seem valuable. I sit up and look around. It doesn't really look like anyone came in while I was asleep. Nom nom. Maybe I really am safe here. I wonder if Juliet's friend was the scent I noticed outside my den the first morning. I don't know how else she could have found me, or how they did it without waking me up. If it happened before, it could happen again, as much as I hate to admit it, so I check around the room very thoroughly, but still don't notice anything different from when I went to bed.
Maybe it's not a trick.
All my past experiences have told me that there has to be a catch. Nothing is free. Nothing. But no matter how hard I try, I can't figure out what it could be. Could Juliet really have been telling the truth? It just seems so unlikely. It'd be nice if it was true. But if it wasn't, then if I let myself believe, only to be wrong in the end, then that would hurt even more, wouldn't it? No, better not even take the risk. After all, I've lived a lot of years this way, and it's not like I hate it. Making my mind up helps me feel better right away too. It just makes more sense. Even if I tried to stay, I don't think I'd ever stop worrying. This way, I'll know for sure that I'm in charge of my own destiny. Now that I know this room is unoccupied, I might be able to sneak back in sometime when I need a place to stay. It wouldn't be too hard to climb one of the trees and then get to the window from here. From there, I take one last look around for just a night. It was a nice what if. Then I head downstairs at the door without speaking a word to anyone. It's another nice day, the same as when I arrived in Wellington. Warm sun and blue skies with just a hint of clouds. For a while, I meander around town, eating the last of my pastries from the convenience store hall for breakfast. The day feels like another restart. I have no den, no supplies, no anything. It's less exciting now than it was when I first arrived. I don't have a destination in mind, but eventually end up at the waterfront. There's an airship over the bay, descending closer towards the skyport. A couple of kids down the beach wave up at it, seeming excited. People arriving on the ship all have somewhere that they're planning to go when they get off, huh? Excuse me. They've all got people waiting to see them. What have I got? Some trash and an old scroll? So far, Wellington's given me nothing but questions. That's never bothered me before, in any of the other cities I've been to. So why now? Guess that's another question for the pile. Push myself off the railing and head back into town. I go through the motions of scouting for somewhere to rebuild my den, but my heart really isn't in it. After wandering a while, I ended up at the Bell House yet again. It's just the place I go when I have nowhere else to go. There are more customers than usual, so there are 2 people working behind the counter. It only takes a brief glance to notice that one of them is Aspen. Aspen. I wonder if she'll think I'd like Fairy Kiss Chiller again. Or maybe I'll make a different sort of a first impression today. The line moves pretty quickly. It helps that Aspen doesn't spill anything this time. When it's my turn to order, I step up to the counter with a fake smile.
Oh, hello! What can I make for you today?
I'll have a Fairy Kiss Chiller, please.
Certainly. Good choice.
I reach for my wallet to pay, but she stops me.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's on the house today.
Great! What does that mean?
It means that you don't have to pay for it. As an apology for yesterday.
Yesterday? Why does that sound so strange? I nearly missed her talking, my mind having tripped over the word. She reaches for a cup, the pen already in hand. She remembers me!
And that's for Miho, right?
She remembers me!
For Miho?
My name? She remembers my name? My heart begins to race wildly, my body reacting just as strongly as my mind.
Aspen frowns, clearly noticing that something's off. My head's in too much of a daze to deal with it, though.
It is Miho, right?
She checks the notebook on the counter, brow furrowing deeply as her finger slowly moves down the page and taps on one of the lines. What do I say? How do I explain? That's for the first time in my life, for the first time in hundreds of years, somebody remembered my name? It's not supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be forgotten. Every time, without fail. It's my armor. It's my life. Take a step backwards. I have to run. I have to get out of here. I have to get away. But where to? I've just been running. And I don't have anywhere else to run to. But I don't have any other choice. Without a plan or destination, I turn on my heel and bolt outside, not daring to look back. Everything is wrong. I have to go.
Miho!
She calls my name again as I disappear into the street. It's not the first time I've heard that as I fled. But never like this, not with such a confused, worried tone. Feeling sick to my stomach, I push myself to run even faster. Maybe I should just leave this whole city, get on the next airship out of here, and act like it never happened. I could go somewhere else, back to China or America or anywhere, and start over again. Within days, it'd be like I never even came to Wellington. My life would go back to normal, and eventually I'm sure Aspen and Juliet would forget me, just like they're supposed to. Nothing would be different. Okay, thank you for hydrate. I shall. Yum yum yum. Stretch, okay. Except that's not quite true. I wouldn't forget about what happened here, even if everyone else did. Posture check, I shall. Thank you. No matter what, I'm sure I won't ever be able to get past these I wouldn't be able to get these past few days out of my mind. When I got to Mount Victoria, I finally stopped running. Not because this place is special or because I wanted to come here, but because I don't know where else I'd go. I make my way up to the top of the mountain, just like I did on my first day. The view, which I admired so much last time, it doesn't do much for me now. Instead, the city looks cluttered and confused from up here. My chest hurts from running so long. I'm much more used to quick bursts of sprinting to get away from someone or something. Guess that's still what I'm trying to do now. But I'm not too sure what it is I'm running from. Whenever something goes wrong, my first instinct is to flee. Aspen remembering me definitely counts as something wrong, but when I start to think about why, some of the reasons are obvious. Mostly, what if it's not just Aspen? What if everyone can remember me now? Or even worse, what if people who forget about me a long time ago start to remember me? Both could get me in a lot of trouble. My days as a thief would probably be over. There are some places where I can never show my face again. The smart thing to do is to leave. I can even see a couple of airships at a skyport right now. I have everything with me. I could just go. There's nothing keeping me here. And yet, I don't move. I still don't even know what it is I'd be running away from. From Aspen? From Wellington? When I think about it, I'd have to admit that running wouldn't get me anywhere. This worry, these questions would follow me wherever I go. No matter how far, no matter how long. So then what do? The only answer I can think of is the scariest one. The one that goes against everything I've ever learned. Closing my eyes, I picture the library and Juliet's offer. I picture Aspen, whom I barely know, but who's already changed my life. Maybe I should stay, trying to find out more. Maybe, just maybe, being remembered might not be all bad. I clench my fist so tightly my knuckles turn white. The urge to turn tail and head for the skyport is so strong. It's almost like a magnet pulling me there. I resist it though. Slowly I walk back down the mountain, making my way to the library. I'm not sure what to say when I get there. Explain everything to Juliet, hope she'll let me stay in that room again? I don't even need that room. I could rebuild my den and hide out there. Maybe in a new spot, one that Juliet doesn't know about. Not having to worry about the weather or other animals would be nice though.
There's no telling if Juliet will remember me too. If not, it might be easier to pretend this is my first time visiting. Just ask if there's anywhere I could stay. Even though I'm not moving very fast, I still don't feel ready for this conversation by the time I reach the library's entrance. It's only been an hour or so since I left the Bell House, so it's not late enough for the library to be closed. The usual stream of people flows in and out of the doors.
Okay, I can do this.
I stand off to the side of the entrance, preparing myself as people pass to and fro. My heart is racing the same way it does during a tense break-in, maybe even harder. My tail twitches back and forth. Usually, I don't notice, but right now I'm super aware of everything about myself. Fighting with my instincts, I open the door and let myself inside. I've been expecting to have to look for Juliet, but instead she's right by the entrance. What surprises me most, however, is the woman leaning against that large desk beside her, Aspen, who's now engaged in conversation with a deep concern on her face.
They're both talking! Oh no!
She wasn't there when I checked the bedroom. I wish she would have spoken to me first, at least.
I barely catch the end of Juliet's sentence. She notices me only moments after I spot her, and for a second her mouth forms a perfect O in surprise. Oh!
Juliet? What are you...
Aspen turns around to follow Juliet's gaze, her eyes opening wide at the sight of me.
Miho!
My brain goes blank, rehearsed lines flying out of my head.
Hey there.
Hello? I slink over to where they're standing, hands in my pockets, unsure what I should say first.
It's nice to see you again, Miho. I was hoping that you'd return.
Me too. That was pretty sudden. I worked extra hard on that drink for you, you know.
I freeze, looking for the words. Aspen's expression softens in concern.
Miho?
Alright, the drink. I'm sorry.
Well, I ended up drinking it myself, so I suppose I can't complain too much.
She laughs and I can't stop myself from blurting out my next words.
You seem different.
I'm sorry?
Like, less polite?
Well, I'm not at work anymore, am I?
What am I even saying? What was I planning on saying again?
Will you be staying for a while, Miho? If so, we can continue this conversation in the dining room. It's a bit more private there.
Julia takes charge of the conversation effortlessly, and I accidentally sigh in relief.
Yeah, sure. That sounds great. I'm not gonna run away again.
I'm glad to hear that. Right this way, then.
I swear I'm not gonna run. I'm scared. Juliet leads the way down the hall and into one of the locked rooms. We enter a cozy little room with a table and a few chairs, as well as a fridge. The three of us sit down, although I move my chair, so I'm not as close as to the others. What a
Can
silly.
I get you anything to eat or drink, Miho?
I shake my head. I'm hungry, but I'm way too nervous to eat. Juliet smiles in response to my answer, which came just a little too quickly to sound natural. By the way both she and Aspen are looking at me, I can tell they're expecting me to say something first. Oh, by the way they're looking at me, I see. None of the words that I planned are coming back to me. What do people even say in a situation like this? Temptation to run away is overwhelming. The door is just a few feet behind me. My knuckles whiten as I tightly clench my fists in my lap, pushing myself to resist the urge. I told myself that I'm going to take this chance. Even if it's the hardest thing I've done, I'm going to be honest with them.
Well...
I struggle to think of what to say. Juliet waits patiently, her eyes gazing coolly in my direction more than directly at mine. Aspen soon grows restless, however, her expressions clouded with concern.
Sorry. I don't know how to just say things. I've only ever copied other people's, so
Aspen's expression clears up into some sort of understanding.
It's okay, Miho. Take your time.
So I don't really know how to talk like this.
You're doing just fine.
Wow.
If you say so. It's not just talking either. I don't know much about anything. Well, anything human. All I really know about is being a fox. And all we foxes care about is how to survive. It might be hard to believe, but I'm not a normal fox either. There's something kinda special about me. Kinda different.
I'm special. Different. I feel their beads around my neck. Their constant warmth and presence is reassuring. I avoid looking at either Aspen or Juliet's face. What else?
Usually, I have to steal to get by.
Hydrate.
I don't just have to, I like to. I'm good at it too. That's how I ended up meeting Juliet. And the reason I'm so good at it is because I don't know why it happens, but ever since I got my human form, everyone forgets me. Even the people who catch me stealing from them. After a day or two, I can walk right past their face and they wouldn't even recognize me. No one has ever recognized me. Until Aspen remembered who I was at the Bell House.
She's so shy. She's so awkward and shy, but it's also because, again, she really has never talked to people for thousands of years. Apparently, you know. 1,000 years of not talking to people. Just copying people, but copy is a copy, right?
It was such a shock that I ran away. That's what I always do. I was thinking about leaving Wellington forever, even though I just arrived a couple days ago. I'm still kind of tempted. But instead, I came back here. And that's it.
Just hearing the words coming out of my mouth make me wanna die of embarrassment. It makes me uncomfortable when other people think about me. And yet, putting everything out there feels surprisingly good. Feels like a weight has come off my shoulders. There's no going back now. That's relief in its own way.
So you're saying that you've never ever had a family? Or a friend?
No, never. And not since I stopped being a regular fox, at least.
Oh. I'm so sorry to hear that.
She's like, I guess that's a sad thing.
Why?
Well, because that's... Not to be rude, but that sounds rather lonely to me.
Lonely, huh? I've never thought about it before.
I see.
Aspen sits back, still looking concerned. From the way she keeps fidgeting, I get the impression that she wants to say more, but is holding back. Juliet swoops in to salvage the situation.
You have been very brave to stay here, Miho. I'm personally glad that you decided to come back to the library. I had your room prepared in hopes that you would. You're welcome to use it for as long as you'd like. I think that we could become great friends.
Friends.
I roll the word around in my mind as if it was a strange food I'm gingerly trying. Is that a word that fits me? Is that something I could have? Oh, is that something I could have? It's never seemed like a possibility before. None of what Juliet offered me has. Right now it feels like I'm standing at the end of one path and at the beginning of another. I could turn around and go back the way I came, back to the den and a life spent alone. I've known that world. I've lived in it for so many years. But I can't just go back. Not now. Not when there can be something more, something new. Everything could be different if I just let it. When I look at Aspen and Juliet, I can tell what they're hoping I'll say.
I think I'd like that.
Big smiles take over both their faces. Slowly, I'd let myself smile too.
Well then, Miho. Welcome home.
Wow. Wow. Chapter 2? That's crazy. A life worth... This is such a cute thing, which I am going to save right here. Because I think this is a perfect place to stop. Oh no, how terrible. Finishing a whole chapter, I think, sounds like such a great idea for that, isn't it? Long story. It is a good visual novel. Ish. And I think we got a great preview. I mean, you guys got a great preview. We'll see if we want to finish this whole game. I kind of do. It's very sweet. It's really, really sweet. But very, very cute. We can look at all the CGs, can we?
What's in here?
CGs? Oh. So many CGs. And that's just chapter 1, bro. Oh. Look at all the CGs. We got... She's cool. Very cute. Very cute story. So we'll see if we want to continue this game on stream as well. But yeah, I think we'll wrap up stream for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. It's a great preview, at least if I don't continue it, because it's a really nice game. As you can see, it's very comfy, very heartwarming. You can feel the heartwarming about to begin. The meaning of friendship and love. That's 2 girlfriends already, but which one is your true girlfriend? Which one is the true love? You decide. I don't know who I'd pick yet, you know? I don't know. I'd have to experience the story more. Maybe Juliet, but Juliet does, you know, she's you know, they're both very nice, and we have, you know, gotta learn more about people. I'm mistrustful, right? So I gotta learn more about people before I say, hey, I'm on your route, you know? But thank you so much for coming by, everybody, for a rather medium-sized short stream. Beautiful game. And tomorrow is Friday. I might stream because it's Friday night, as usual, but it's been pretty hectic, like today at work, and tomorrow I think it'll be the same. But I'll do my bestest. Indeed. So I hope you enjoyed yourself with this very beautiful visual novel. Good luck with it. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks so much for coming by, everybody. I hope you can be happy too. And I hope me reading this book, this visual novel to you, will make you happy. I love the stream. Thank you. Lots of fun listening. Thank you. There was no random parts where I went and took it out, you know, and really, you know, took out the immersion. What about that one part where I take out all the immersion? Nah. I'm sure you guys loved it. Anyways, thanks for coming by, everybody. It's just midnight now. Gotta go and sleep and rest. See you guys tomorrow, probably. Maybe we'll play something else. Maybe we'll continue this. But yeah, bye-bye. I hope you're happy today. I'm happy with you guys today. Bye-bye.